Now we shall do the problems only on hyperbola. That means we shall do problems which are based on the hyperbola curves. Two coast guard stations are located 600 km apart. A of 0, 0 and B of 0, 600. A distress signal from a ship at P is received at slightly different times by the two stations. So first of all, we shall go for these two stations. These two stations are fixed, isn't it? So one is at 0, 0. So if I have a graph, this is A is 0, 0. And B is 0, 600, means it is on the y-axis, isn't it? So B is 0, 600. So the distance between A and B is 600 km. So this is how these two stations are there, but that means what these 2 points are fixed points. Next, a signal from a ship at P is received at slightly different times by two stations. It is determined that the ship is 200 km farther from station A than it is from station B. Determine the equation of hyperbola they are asking. So we are dealing with the equation of hyperbola, so the curve is an hyperbola. Now, suppose if these 2 points are fixed points, then these 2 points will act as their foci. Therefore, here I draw the midpoint, so I can draw a line along the midpoint. This is C. Then C is the center of the hyperbola. Then I draw this curve as of this format, isn't it? So this is one curve and this is hyperbola. This is the hyperbola. So this will be the center. So the ship will be on the curve, maybe somewhere here. So point P, because that passes through the location of the ship. So point P may be here, and this point P is 200 meter more from A to B. That means if I take this distance as, suppose if I take somewhere here, if this distance is x, then this distance will be, so if it is x, then this will be x plus 200. This is what they give. So this is the actual situation of this problem. Two stations A and B are there. Therefore, they are having a distance of 600 km. But they gave A is 0, 0 and B is 0, 600. So A will be acting at the A will be at the origin 0, 0. B will be on y-axis 0, 600. Now, we know this curve is a hyperbola. Then these two will act as the foci because those 2 points are fixed points. Then center will be between the midpoint of A and B. So here will be the center. Then the curve will be of this format. So if I take this ship to P is on the curve, then they give this P is, suppose if it is x distance from B, then it will be x plus 200 distance from A. So this is the situation. Now I have to find out the equation of this part, this hyperbola. First we shall find the center. Center C equal to midpoint of F of dash. I told you these two are foci, so this F and F dash. So this is 0 plus 0 by 2, 0 plus 600 by 2. So center is 0, 300. This is our H, K. Now, so we are clear with the question, so we shall have the question. The transverse axis is y-axis, therefore we shall try to write the hyperbola equation. Then the equation of hyperbola is x minus y minus k the whole square by a square minus x minus h the whole square by b square equal to 1. Since transverse axis is y-axis and we know the center, so we shall substitute the center. That is y minus 300 the whole square by a square minus x minus 0 the whole square by b square equal to 1. This is the equation of the hyperbola. So we have to find a square and b square. So this center we found as 0, 300. Now listen here. I have to find the value of a and b. So what is given? the ship P receives a message from both the fixed stations A and B, but it receives something 200 less than with B. That means what? Shall we say there is given the difference between the messages is 200, that is given PA minus PB equal to 200. So this is what we can understand. It is x plus 200 and this is x. The difference is 200 between these two focal distances. So PA minus PB equal to 200. But we know this is the property of hyperbola. So this is of the form Fp minus f dash P equal to 2a. This is property of hyperbola. So we can say 2a equal to 200. So a equal to 200 by 2. So a equal to 100. I found a now. So a square is therefore a square is 10,000. Now, I found a square. Now we have to find b square. What they gave? Distance between the fixed points is 600. So, shall we use that one now? Therefore, given AB equal to 600. That means the distance between the fixed points, and we know the fixed points are 4C, therefore f of dash is 600. We know the distance between 4C is 2AE equal to 600, therefore AE equal to 600 by 2, so AE equal to 300. We have A square and also AE, and we find B square using this, therefore B square is A square into E square minus 1 for hyperbola. So it is AE the whole square minus A square is 940 minus this one, therefore it is 840. This is B square. So we found A square and B square, so we can substitute this, therefore 1 implies equation of hyperbola is y minus 300 the whole square by a square is minus x square by 80,000 equal to 1. This is the equation of hyperbola which we proved. So this is the station problem. With that, this problem is over. Now, we shall go for next problem on hyperbola, that is on exercise 5.5, sixth problem. Cross section of a nuclear cooling tower is in the shape of a hyperbola. So a cooling tower in a factory maybe is a hyperbola whose equation they gave us x square by 30 square minus y square by 44 square equal to 1. The tower is 150 meter tall. So shall I say like this? This is the tower. They gave in the diagram book itself. So the top will be somewhat shorter and bottom will be somewhat larger. The tower height is 150 meter. Now they say the distance from the top of the tower to the center of the hyperbola is half the distance. So this is half when it is compared from this one. That is, the center is not lying exactly at the center of this, maybe somewhere here. So this is the center, and if I take this point as the height. So this is half of this, that is, if I take this one as 2p, then this is p. Okay. Now they are asking, are you understanding? So this is half of the distance from the bottom. So if I take this one as p, this will be p by 2. Instead we shall take this one as 2p, then this will be p. Then find the diameter of the top and bottom. So they are asking the diameter of the top of the tower and diameter of the base of the tower. So if I take this one as x1 and if it is x2, I have to find 2x1 and 2x2. Now, before going to this problem, we know the total height is 150. That means P plus from diagram. P plus 2P is 150. That is 3P is 150. So P is 150 by 3, it is 50. So this height is 50. Then this height will be 100. Then shall I take this point as x1 comma 50 and this point as x2 comma 100. I have to find the x1, then we have to multiply with 2 and get the diameter of the top. Similarly, I have to find the x2, then I have to multiply with 2 and get the diameter of the bottom of this top. So given equation of hyperbola is x square by 30 square minus y square by 40 square 4 square equal to 1. First one problem is a simple problem. Now we shall take this point. Now x1 comma 50 is a point on the curve. Then equation becomes x1 square by 30 square. Here of y1 50 square by 44 square equal to 1. So it is x1 square by 900 equal to 1 plus is it 2500 by 44 square is 44 into 44, 4 4s are 16, 17, 176, 6, 3, remain from 9, 1, 1936. So x1 square by 900 equal to, so when we add 1936 plus 2500, it is 6, 3, 14, remain from 1, 4. So it is 4436 by 1936. Therefore, x1 square is 4436 by 1936 into 900. Therefore, from this we can say x1 is root of 4436 into 900 by 1936. So x1 is 900 root is 30. We know 1936 root is 44 into 4436. When you go for finding the square root value is, if I go by division method, it is 66.6. 4436 only. So if I divide by 11, this is 4 times, this is 6 times, point, so we say 5, so 30 by 4 into 6.05. Again if I divide by 2, this is 2 and this is 15. So x1 is, we shall multiply with 15. So 15 into 6.05. 5 15s are 75. We multiply with 5. 5 5s are 25. 6 5s are 30. 1 5 is 605. So 5709. So it is 90.75. So it is 90.75 by 2. Therefore, diameter is 2x1. That is 2 into 90.75 by 2. So it is 90.8 approximately. So this is the diameter of the top surface. Now we shall go for finding the diameter of the bottom surface. Same thing, we shall substitute the point x2 comma 100 in the equation. So we shall keep this equation as 1. So when I substitute again x2 comma 100 is on the curve, then equation becomes x2 square by 30 square minus 100 square by 44 square equal to 1. So I have to find out the diameter, that's all. So it is x2 square by 900 equal to 1 plus 4 zeros by 44 square is 1936. So when we have 1936. It is x2 square equal to 11936 by 1936 into 900. Therefore, from this we shall find x2 as root of 11936 into 900 by 1936. 900 root is 30, 1936 root is 44. For this, if I find the root value is 109.25. So if I divide by, let me divide same thing by 11. So it is 30 by 4. If I divide by this by 11, then it is 9.93 approximately. So if I divide by 2, it is 15 by 2 into 9.93. We shall multiply. 15 into 9.93 by 5 first. 3 5s are 15, 9 5s are 46, 9 5s are 46, 9 5s are 45, 49. Then 993. When I add 5, 9, 8, remainder 1, 14. 2 decimals, 148. Therefore, it is 148.95 by 3. Therefore, they need diameter. So, here, therefore, diameter of the bottom, that is 2x2. That is 2 into 148.95 by 2. So, it is 148.95 meter approximately. So, we found the top diameter and also the bottom surface diameter. So, that's all. They are just asking us to find out the diameter of the top and the bottom, and they gave the equation also. Just we have to substitute the values of x1 square and y square and y values. Similarly, x2 square and y value, you get the values of x1 and x2. And if I multiply that one by 2, I will get the diameter. That's all. Next, 10th problem. Points A and B are 10 km apart, and it is determined from the sound of an explosion heard those points at different times that the location of the explosion is 6 km closer to A than B. That means, so when an explosion is happening, that the explosion is heard by A very soon, whereas B is somewhat farther, so he will be hearing at B very late only. So in that case, what is the location of this explosion is restricted to a particular curve, and find the equation of the curve. So shall we say like this, 2 points A and B are fixed. So A and B are fixed, and their distance between them is 10 km. An explosion is happening somewhere at P, where 6 km, so P may be here. It is heard by A very faster, whereas this one is not heard by, suppose if I write then this one is B. That means, and we say the difference between PA and PB is 6. So this is 6. So what is given, I have to understand that is the difference between PA and PB is 6. So if this is the case, what is the equation of the curve? Or the curve is involved in this, okay. Now listen here. Given AB equal to 10, let P be any point such that PA minus PB equal to 6. So this is what given. The distance between A and B is 10 km, and then the different time the location of explosion is closer to A than B. That means the difference P is closer to A and then B. Therefore the difference is 6. Now, if this is the case, we know this is the property of a hyperbola. That is, this is of the form. Since the points A and B are fixed, Fp minus F dash P equal to 2A. Therefore, this implies I can say 2A is 6, A is 6 by 2 equal to 3. Therefore, A square is 9. So here itself I can confirm locus of the curve is a hyperbola. So I can say the restricted curve is, the restricted particular curve is hyperbola, that A square is 9. So I found the value of a square. Now given again AB equal to 10, isn't it? That means distance between these two is 10. That means distance between the fixed point is this 2. 10. That means f of dash equal to 10. That is 2AE equal to 10. Therefore AE equal to 5. From this I can find B square. Therefore B square is A square into E square minus 1, since we can form this one as a hyperbola. So A the whole square minus A square, it is 25 minus 9 because A is 5, so B square is 16. Therefore, equation of the curve is, equation of hyperbola is x square by A square minus y square by B square equal to 1. That is x square by 9 minus y square by 16 equal to 1. This is the equation of hyperbola. So using the property of the hyperbola, we can find the equation of hyperbola. So with that, problems on analytical geometry